your mean, mean pride.
Alright guys, I'm back again, and today I'm here to show you something a little special. This is the Atari Super Pong system. Now, I'm not too sure how many videos that are out there on YouTube showing this thing off, but I figured that I might as well, make my own video really showing this thing off, because I just think it's so cool. And Pong systems these days are few and far between, so I definitely recommend that you guys get one if you're a classic gamer like myself. You really owe it to yourself to get a Pong machine of some sort. I got lucky enough to get this one, the Atari Super Pong, which was released in 1976 by Atari. Before that, there was, I think, one or two other Pong machines that they made, and there was also a variation made by Sears, but I do not have those units, but I would really like to see them or actually get them one day, because, I'm a big, Pong fanatic. I just think it, is one of the simplest yet most influential games of all time, and like I said, if you're a classic gamer, you definitely owe it to yourself to get a Pong machine of some sort. But this particular model right here is very interesting, and there's a couple of very, interesting points about it that really definitely make it show its age. So really quickly though, I'll show you guys the outside of the unit. Let me move my tripod a little bit. Of course, you got your two knobs right here for the player 1 and the player 2 paddles. You have your on and off switch right here, and your reset button right here, which just resets your score. Right here we also have a speaker, which is one of the very unique things about this Pong machine and any video game console in general, is that the sound effects actually come out of this speaker right here rather than your TV, which is pretty bizarre nowadays if you think about it. But like the Angry Video Game Nerd said in his video, it's a lot like the Wii remote, how certain sound effects come out of it. So it's not a concept that's completely dead, but still, these days, it's kind of unusual to really think that sound effects come out of the console rather than the TV. And down here we have the select game switch, where you can select between 4 different variations of Pong, which I will get to in a moment. Right here on the back, of course, we have the RF cable, which will hook onto the back of your TV or VCR. And if we flip this thing around, I'll let you guys take a look at the serial number, if you can see that. My camera is pretty blurry. But yeah, it says, made by Atari Incorporated, Sunnyvale, California. And another very unique aspect of this Pong machine, which is actually right here on the back, is that it takes batteries. It takes 4 D batteries, which makes this thing even heavier than it needs to be. That's another really unique thing about this Pong machine, is that it actually takes batteries. I know that there are some out there that exist that you can plug in an AC adapter, which on this machine you actually have the option to right here. You can plug in an AC adapter if you had one back in the day. But most people use batteries. So that's another very unique thing about, Pong systems, is that they actually use batteries rather than an AC adapter for most models. So something to keep in mind if you're in the market to get one of these things. And the back just clips back on like so. It's a little difficult, but come on. There we go. Okay, so without further ado, I got this thing hooked up to my TV right now, and I will show you guys the 4 variations of Pong that are on this particular machine. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. And this is the boot up screen that you get right here. We'll go ahead and start off with game mode number 1, so we'll go ahead and hit reset. This game mode right here, the whole idea is that you're controlling your paddles right here like so, and you can see there's just a little tiny little hole right there in each of these paddles. The whole idea is that you're trying to get the ball to, actually go inside of the hole right there. So it's like reverse Pong, I guess you could say, where you're actually trying to get it inside the hole rather than bat it back and forth from your opponent. So I'll just play for a few more minutes to give you guys an idea of how this works. There we go. Have one more volley here. There we go. So that's game mode number 1. Game mode number 2 is a little strange. A lot of people have no idea what this is. The whole idea is that you move your pink paddle up here to any degree that you like. You can block off, the entire thing in general, or you could, leave open a little space right there, or just have it completely wide open, so you can control it any way you want. But the whole idea here is that this is a, I guess, single-person Pong mode, where you control this yellow one right here, and your objective is to actually get it in the hole. So this is like the, I guess, single player's version of Pong. So if you're looking to get some practice in and you don't have a friend to play with, this is a pretty fun game mode to play. So go for one more volley here. And of course, as the volley gets longer and longer, the ball gets to move faster and faster. There is no speed control switch on this thing, which I know is pretty common amongst other Pong systems that are out there, but this particular machine does not have a speed control. Which is actually, really, really good, actually, because it, makes it a lot more unpredictable as to when the speed is going to change on you, which I actually think makes it more challenging. I'll finish this volley here real quick. Another thing you may notice too, I don't know how well you can really notice because the glare from the TV kind of gets in the way, but this machine actually displays in color, which was a really, really good marketing strategy back then to actually differentiate one Pong system from another. It would actually, sell more Pong systems if, the people actually knew that, hey, this is in color. But actually the colors are very limited because one paddle would be like yellow, like, this one is. The other paddle would be like pink, like this one is, and like the net is like blue. So there really wasn't much color, but still it was enough color to actually get people to buy this thing. So now let's move on to game mode number 3, which happens to be Pong doubles. Which it's basically the same thing as like a standard Pong game. The only difference is that you get an extra paddle. So like if you miss your shot with, one of the paddles, you can actually have a backup right behind you, which is pretty cool. I actually think this is my favorite game mode just because the fact that you have 2 paddles, it makes it easier for one thing, and it also, makes the volleys last a lot longer, which I think makes it a lot more fun. So, finish this volley here, and I'll get to the last game mode here. Okay. And now the last one, game mode number 4, is just standard Pong, the one that we all know and love. So not a whole lot to talk about here, just standard Pong, a classic that every gamer must play. So, those are the 4 variations of Pong that you get with this machine. So overall, I think that the Atari Super Pong is definitely an awesome machine, but there are a couple of drawbacks to this thing that I have noticed. For one thing, as you guys have noticed right away, you can't actually take your controllers out. They're mounted on the console itself. But they actually did complement this problem by having a really, really long RF cable, so you can drag it to your couch or your chair, but still, it kind of makes it a pain that you actually have to have this thing on your lap rather than having detachable controllers, which, seems like a no-brainer these days. But back then, I guess it was just standard to have controllers either plugged into the back or actually mounted on the console. So for the time, it was excusable, but these days, you really want, detachable controllers. And another drawback that I seem to notice is that, using an AC adapter would be really, really beneficial. Because, of course, these days you expect to use an AC adapter with your console. But, of course, like I said with, the RF cable, being long, and the knobs being detached on the console itself, for the time it was excusable, but these days, of course, you want an AC adapter. But those are the only real drawbacks I could think of. Other than that, I think that this is a fantastic Pong system, and Pong in general is just such an awesome game, and if you are a classic gamer, like I keep saying over and over and over and over, if you're a classic gamer or just any gamer in general, you owe it to yourself to play Pong and to own a Pong machine of some sort. So that's my video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this, and if you guys have any questions about the Atari Super Pong, I'd be very, very happy to answer them for you. And thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a great day.